Do you think aliens see that at the dark side of the Earth? Like they see our lights projected outside?
I don't think they can.
They don't have the eyes, huh?
They're asexual.
Okay.
Did you guys see the new Artemis launch from NASA's?
Yeah.
So nasty.
Artemis, is that a satellite?
It's a big old rocket.
Wonderful.
Ooh.
Yep. So, 50 years after the final Apollo mission, NASA has taken the first steps that we need to take to return to the moon. So Artemis was launched. This was funded a couple years back, right? And they actually launched it this, well, whenever you see this. But for us, it was like yesterday. And they're basically trying to get this rocket up into space in order to prep the moon mission, which will be within a couple of years.
Are they going to do anything different this time when they get to the moon?
Well, they're going to take high-def video of the moon.
So it doesn't feel fake anymore.
Which will be wild.
They don't get high-def video. It still comes back in 420p.
Just the transfer files. They're just too big.
Something about the moon.
Because it went from iPhone to Android.
Yeah.
The picture's all small.
What the fuck is this, man? That's the moon?
One of the weird parts about this for conspiracy theorists, which, by the way, I don't hate that term. Like, a lot of things that are conspiracies turn out to be true later. But for this one, it's kind of interesting because this is a 26-day flight, right? So this thing's going to orbit the Earth, carrying a set of mannequins with sensors to study conditions during the flight to measure radiation levels throughout the mission. So it's like, well, if we already went to the moon, well, you know, what the fuck?
Yeah. What's the deal?
What the fuck's up with that? And I legit, I'm the biggest space fan, moon fan ever. But this is sus. No, I'm kidding.
Wait, do you feel like the moon landing was real or fake?
I think it was 100% fake. But I love it. No, I'm kidding.
You love Buzz.
Moon conspiracies are really fun.
They're fun.
They're really fun.
The video's cool.
Hollow moon shit and like the moon.
That's interesting.
Wait, what's Hollow Moon?
Oh,
yeah.
bro.
Dude, come on. Nick.
Bro.
Dude, now we're going to...
So when we landed on the moon, apparently the instrumentation that we had, like on the surface, said that the moon rang like a bell, like it's a hollow moon. So like there's some kind of internal core to it. Who the fuck knows? By the way, was the instrumentation malfunctioning? Oh wait, when we returned to the moon with a heavier payload, so when we like dropped the lander on the moon with even heavier this time, it rang like a bell for 7 hours.
Whoa.
Wild. So again, we don't know what the fuck.
Bitch.
We don't know what's drilled down into the moon. We don't know. We don't absolutely know.
Yeah.
But it is fascinating and fun.
And we never get to see the dark side of the moon, you know what I mean?
You can't see it because it's tidal locked. It's always going to be tidal locked. You can't see the dark side unless you fly around it. Only a couple guys have. Edgar Mitchell's the first.
And they said there's a space station, an alien space station there.
They say also that perhaps the entire moon is a space station and that the back, aka dark side of the moon, is just like the thrusters. But like, if they came here with thrusters, they're not really that advanced in my opinion, but...
Right.
So that Google moon thing, where we can see the moon, it's actually bullshit.
It's the mud of bullshit.
Oh, it's a big mud of bullshit.
Because we only see one side. Always.
Yeah.
And this was a terrible movie, but...
It doesn't rotate, it just one side.
Can't rotate.
Yeah.
Because if they did that, you'd see the back of the spaceship, brother.
Okay. I forgot that part.
I'm actually like the biggest moon fan ever. I fucking love the moon missions. But they're actually just trying to test to see like where we're at right now with current space technology, how that the radiation from the Van Allen belt will affect the human body, obviously. It's not like experiments stop and then they're done. But that's what happens with conspiracy people. They're like, why are they still testing this shit?
Because you have to, don't you?
Exactly.
Like fucking cars.
To update the tech.
Yeah.
You have to test that shit. It's
test
protocol,
everything.
right?
It's the best.
Yeah.
Where does like a private company like SpaceX fall into stuff like this, though? You know what I mean? Like, who have been sending people out there, you know, or not to the moon specifically, but just like up into space and kind of like,
Yeah,
you know.
and back.
Yeah.
How do you mean?
Well, like, I guess if you're, you know, NASA and you're testing for radiation for astronauts to go up into space, etc., but then like you got a private company right next to you and working with you that sends people up into space and stuff.
Oh, right, but they're not...
Like shared technology and stuff like that.
I don't know about shared technology-wise, but the Van Allen belt is like where you would experience the most radiation, and it's further away from the Earth, right? So the idea is like you could a human maybe couldn't survive as easily without good protection, right? If you're not up there with with beach shorts on. So
That'd be cool.
That'd be sick, but you can't. So like that's the idea is like how do you accomplish this? Getting a human to the moon the safest way. Obviously we did it because like Neil Armstrong died of old age as far as we know, and Buzz is still kicking it, and Edgar Mitchell I think died recently a couple years ago. But yeah, they didn't die of like going to the moon.
Yeah.
Right.
Space disease or anything.
Yeah.
Which is what they were tested for when they came back. So they're trying to see, the most updated way that we can go to the moon, and this is part of the first stage of that. So if it succeeds, Artemis 1 will be followed by a planned Artemis 2 test flight, which is scheduled for 2024, and that mission will launch actual humans, no longer dummies, and the Orion spacecraft on an expedition around the moon, and after that, they will include the first person of color to land on the moon. Boom.
On the Artemis 3.
What
That's
color?
pretty cool. Yeah, what color do they pick?
They haven't-
Yellow. Who does that?
Double or unsure.
Who does that?
You think it's yellow? You think it's gonna be brown? What do you think?
I hope he's white. I hope it's the first Colts fan. First Colts fan on the moon.
Hey, there's a person of color on the moon. What color?
White.
I love
And he
that.
sticks the Colts flag inside the moon.
I barely meet Colts fans who aren't white, so that's the only reason I say. We are a small white market.
That's a funny prank.
People of color.
We got our person of color up there.
It's a Colts jersey.
Colts blue. He bleeds blue.
The first one we set up there's a trans.
Hey, what's wrong with that?
They're not a Colts fan.
Are you saying that he's a Colts and Steelers fan?
She's a-
I think we only need this camera for this. We can cut this one and
Delete the footage. It's just two dummies static like this.
If you had the chance to go to the moon, would you do it?
Yeah,
100%?
100,000.
wait, what if you can't come back?
But on Jeff Bezos' company.
Bro, how about this? I went to the moon with Luna and I didn't come back.
Rumor has it Steve is still up there.
Rumor has it, it's hollow.
Yeah, don't even sweat it. But that was the lesson, right? It's like when you go to the moon, all you want to do is talk about how you went to the moon.
Yeah.
So like you go to the moon and you're like, let's get the fuck out of here. AKA you sell, and then you come home, and then you can talk about how you went.
What do you really think is at the dark side of the moon?
What do I actually think?
Yeah.
Can I be really honest with you?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Just empty?
Not even moon?
It's a backdrop.
I think that it's empty because it's the dark side of the moon. There's
What do you hope is there?
Oh man, I would love if there were like lights, like how the Earth is dark at night and you see lights. I would fucking love that.
Oh yeah, that's
It's
cool.
the sickest thing ever.
Do you think aliens see that at the dark side of the Earth? Like they see our lights projected outside?
I don't think they can.
They don't have the eyes, huh?
They're asexual.
Okay.
They would never be.
Asexual
Asexual.
beings, dude.
Fucking
I
weirdos.
feel like what's gonna happen is if gray aliens do show up and they're asexual, we're just gonna be like, man, look at these beta ass bitches.
Yeah.
Well, if they are asexual, how come they keep on anal probing us? That's all I got.
It's the cows and humans.
Oh, is that one?
And it's specifically white farmers. It's always white farmers. I don't know why they don't choose anybody else.
That's why I say pick a Colts fan to go to the moon. They've been through so much.
They probably
Just
already
give them a break.
Bro, so much.
They've been getting anal probed and fucking picked up from their farms for so long. Just let one see the fucking space guys who have been taking it to them. Just for once.
The guys have been fucking off.
Choose a person of color.
The guy's been fucking on for so many generations.
So Steve, how did you get so into the moon?
Well, it all started when I was a kid. True story. I went to a planetarium when I was a kid, and like I just was blown the fuck away
about space.
about space, about all the planets, especially Uranus, obviously because it's hilarious. But
Isn't that the sickest way to learn, though?
Yeah,
Planetarium
for
as a
sure.
kid?
That shit is tight.
it is. But I was getting all the space books, checking them off from the library, and you know how like when you open them up, they had that plastic around them because
Yeah.
At the library, yeah.
you open it, like crinkles up and shit. Yeah. But then I got to look at space photos. And I'm like, whoa, because this was like '90s, and like these were the first pictures of space, like taken like 20 years ago.
Yeah, it was fun.
Seeing Jupiter and Saturn and all this shit, and like I just knew that we live in an era where people who lived 100 years ago never even saw like what it's like to be in a plane, and like we take that for granted. So like the fact that I could look at pictures on planets of planets, and then now in my I'm an adult, I can look on the surface of planets and see like what the fuck is going on is wild.
I love planets. I also fell in love with fucking space and shit like that because of my physical sciences book as a kid, and you see all the crust in the core, and you like go
So
into
sick.
stuff.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
always really cool.
That shit's tight.
You know what's kind of random and funny? So you know how like there's like for example K-pop groups. This seems random, but a lot of them, those idol groups, they get formed on reality TV shows. So like people compete, and then like the winners of those shows become a group that is like managed by a record label.
Yeah.
So there's like TV show in Taiwan that like was doing the same thing, and the teams or the groups that were in competition with each other are named after planets, right? And guess
Like
who
Sailor
won?
Moon.
Guess who won?
Who won?
Uranus.
Uranus.
And Uranus is literally now an official Taiwanese K-pop group
go.
or T-pop group.
I'm
that is,
already
like-
a fan.
They got good shit.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying. I think that's interesting.
Is that your favorite band, Uranus?
I'm Uranus. I'm your fire, your desire. Imagine if that was the song.
Yeah.
That would be so better.
I'm Uranus.
I'm your fire, your
Yeah.
desire.
Because then she's letting you know she's down for anal.
I'm Uranus.
Hi, Joe's mom. Bye, Joe's mom.